Check one, two. Hey, everybody. Just wanted to say what's up. We're about to get this thing started in just a second here. And we're going to be using Logic Pro X today. I'm going to be mixing a song by Aaron. He's an amazing producer from Nashville State Community College. I want to thank them for allowing us to do what we do. And just stay on point, and we'll be here in about 5 minutes. All right, and we're gonna get this thing going in about 1 minute. Thanks for being here, bro. And everything we do, we can just chat through the box, but I'm gonna be going through every single step and showing you exactly how it mix and get your track to a listenable, ready record. Hopefully, everything sounds okay right now. This should sound exactly like how you sent it. I haven't done anything yet. It's just straight up flat, nothing changed. All the volumes the same and all that jazz. But just so you know, here's what to expect and go through that. Complete a general understanding of mixing and completing a song. We're gonna improve your song creation, and I'm gonna get it back to you so you can hear the difference. And then we'll do one more session next week for the beat. And if you want to join me tomorrow, we'll do mic stuff for an hour. You know what I mean? I'm just gonna get you hooked up and make it real nice. And of course, I've been watching the markets like crazy. Everything is pretty freaking wild, completely unpredictable. No one knows what's happening, but trying our best, you know. But hey, you do what you do. All right, so 30 seconds till start time. Let your beat play one more time. I'm just gonna get my real nice headphones, and then we're good to go. Let's go. Let's do this. Let's do this. We're about to have this awesome track mixed by Aaron, the producer extraordinaire. Just so you know. Yeah. Okay. So just so you know, this session is just you and I. I did send it to others at Nashville State, so there will be some other students that may chime in. If there are other people in the building, go ahead and say hey. Happy to have you all. And we are mixing a track by Aaron, this one by Nitro, and this one is called Vulnerable. Okay, make sure you check out his YouTube channel. The man is on fire. He makes a beat a day, if not more, or something like that, right? Just answer in the chat below, how many beats do you make a week, and let's get this thing going. All right, so cool. We got this awesome track right here. I love this beat already. But what I'm gonna go for is a few things. The stages. All right, so I'm gonna listen to this track straight through. I'm gonna organize all the instruments in a specific order for mixing, labeling and grouping of the instruments. I'm gonna color them. Since you're not a Logic user, I'll just kind of give you general ideas. I won't go too deep into it because I know that you're FL all day and whatever, you can stay there. You don't have to leave. And then we're going to go over volume and gain. I'm going to just get a volume balance to make things sound just right. And then I'm going to gut the track, which means I'm only going to remove issues. We're not going to do effects yet because if I go too fast and get through all that in 1 hour, I can't guarantee that mix is going to sound right, right? So it's like you do a basic cleanup and minimizing of problems, and then during the next session, you really go in and start adding effects. And in the third session, if there is that, all you do, on the third session, we'll go through mastering, which is like to put it on YouTube and make sure that the volume doesn't get crunched or doesn't get turned up too loud, right, when you submit. So we'll go over those levels, and while we're doing this, I'll do that. So the first stage is listening to your mix. So let's go ahead and do that, and I'll talk about it while it's happening. We already heard it for a few minutes, but I'm just going to do it in an instructional format and get you going. And so 5 beats a week is a lot. That's more than I do. I'm like 1 or 2 beats in a month. I might have a spurt though, like, well, I'll be sitting there and I'll crank out like 7 tracks for no reason. and they won't be finished or anything, but they'll be ideas. And I watched you produce live, and it kind of wowed me. I was just like, this dude's really just cranking out tunes like it's not a problem. So I will speak on the 808. It might need a little bit of pitch correction, but I think I can do that and fix it myself because it's not like a wiggly instrument. It's just straight notes, so I can just put it where it needs to be. All right, and they're not sliding. Here we go. Okay, so we got this little intro right here. I'm gonna widen this up by clicking this button up here so I can see. Okay, that kick and 808 is a little too strong for me right now. Hi-hat sitting in a good spot. That main background melody, the bells sound pretty good, which are right here, I believe. Okay. And I might put some drops in there for you in a little bit. We'll see what happens. But yeah, let me know also, what do you really want to get out of this mix? Is this going to be on YouTube? Is it going to be on Spotify? Where are you going to put it? Okay, we got a little vocal chop. I love this melody right here. This wee wee. So this has like a bass in it too. So it's two things. Okay, so this is a loop that you had got, and it kind of helped you create the track. I can see that. So what may have to happen, I might have to separate that into two parts so I can mix it differently. One thing I would say that I do like is that you know how to make really tight, punchy kicks, and that can be really hard to do. Now with that, there could be downsides. So I've listened to the track basically, and here are my general things that I want to fix. I want to fix the 808 and kick real bad. And then to make everything essentially brighter, but more balanced all the way throughout. I want to balance towards something like, oh, there goes a kick. It's more like, okay, that's a track. We're looking for all the elements together. We're looking for a whole plate of food. I don't want to notice one thing over the other at all. So you are going to give this to an artist. So what that means is you won't take this into mastering. This will not get mastered. And the reason why is because we don't want to put all this finalization on the track and then the artist records on it and then they finalize it again and then it will damage your beat at that point because of dynamic compression and things of that nature. So we're just gonna get a really good mix that they can deal with. And to be honest, I'll probably send this back to you as stems. And the reason I'll send it back as stems is so that when the artist records on the basic WAV file that's all by itself, you can get their vocals and then refix the beat however you need to, right? But it'll already sound great. And so yeah, let's organize this. I'm gonna organize it first, and then I'll go into the volume, which means I'll turn everything down and go one by one. So it might get a little quiet, but that's actually a good thing. Okay. So first things first. What's this first instrument? Okay, so bell bass. I'm gonna call this bell bass. Okay. What's this? That's the next thing. Let's call that hi-hat or HH. Okay. What's this? That's the 808. So here's the problem I have with this 808 right now. It has a kick inside of it. I can still hear a kick. And so what that did is it made the kick you add too powerful, right? So it cuts through, but it's almost like a knife to the ear. All right, so we got that. Then I got our kick, of course, which is right here. You see when I press S, I'm just soloing things out. That's what's going on right there. And you see the volume control. One thing to note is I can also do the same volume control from over here on the left-hand side. You can see that move. So if you see things moving all weird, and this is the main output, like in the mixer on the mixer page for FL Studio. So it's just a kick. I'm just gonna put a K and do it like that, just because you'll understand what that is. And what's this? Do ya thing. I'm gonna call that you know, vocal or vocal out, because there's more than one vocal in here. Okay, what's this one? It's an interesting snare. Now, sometimes when I hear a snare like that, I just replace it with one that I have, just because I might like one better. But I'm gonna do what I can with this and see what we get out of it. Okay. Bass, bell, 2. Okay. Now what's this wee thing? Okay. Vocal. Woo. Alright. So I've gotten everything essentially labeled at this point. I know what the tracks are. And I have an idea that I need to chop right here when it gets brighter, when it's the bass element is not happening. You can kind of see that right away on these. I'll probably have to do this, but if you notice, I know that the tempo is not noted. Now, is the tempo 140? You can tell me right away and I could just set the track, or I'll have to figure it out myself. So tell me that. And one other thing to note is when you send over a mix, you want to make sure that you're telling me the tempo and the key that it's in. So if you understand key and stuff like that, that's always awesome for me to have information for. And go like that. But I'm going to find out the key of the song right now, and then I'm going to go ahead and find the tempo if you don't know, okay? So let's go with this bell. I'm going to add a software instrument. So in other words, if I had my sounds over here on the left-hand side like in FL and you just drag it in, you can't do that here. You have to hit the plus sign, go to software instrument, and then I choose an instrument from here, okay? And once I choose that, then it has the different types of sounds on this side. So it is 140, great. So I'll just type it in, but I have to check one thing. I have to make sure that your song actually starts at 0. Otherwise, it'll be off beat a little bit. And looking at this, it looks like it starts right at 0. If I saw like some silence here first, I would have to chop everything and then move it over to that part. And it's all good. What you don't know, now you know. You were just hype about, oh, he's about to mix my song for free. Heck yeah, all day. All right, so I got the bell. I'm going to change the tempo here. Okay, so we have our tempo of the song. And now you can see it's lined up nice and easy, and I can easily distinguish sections that are bright. Okay. And let me check my theory. You see how I get across right here when I put my mouse down there? I have a multi-tool set up to where if I go right here, it's a regular mouse, so I can click and drag, or if I hit here, I can splice and slice things up. All right? But I'll get to that in just a second. Command-Z to undo. And I was going to set up another screen so you can see me typing and stuff, but I don't think you're going to really get too deep into Logic, and for obvious reasons, because you're already making fire. And you know how we were talking earlier, it's like you really want to learn how to mix and do vocals and stuff. I really recommend understanding it, but I wouldn't take it full on, because you know how to create a track like this. And if you're doing that, you just need to find an engineer that'll just mix it for you. So you just keep kicking out content. Because if you spend time mixing your record, that's time that you probably would have used to make another track. And that's you losing income, in a sense. Maybe. Right? I could be wrong too. So, to each their own. All right, let's find the key of this song. I'm going to go to the bell. It says G minor on the loop, but I'm just going to confirm that by playing. So we have boom. It's actually G sharp minor. So a half step off. So I'm going to go to the beginning of my song, and I'm going I'm gonna change the key right here. Once I shake it, it should get bigger. Right there. Boom. G sharp minor right here. Boom. All right, so I got that. And then let me make sure something's going on. I was supposed to email this link to somebody. Give me 1 second, man. I'm so sorry about that. Let's see. Boom, boom. Copy. Boom. And we are in there. Bam. Okay. So I found the key of the song, blah, blah, blah. We know the tempo. Everything's lined up. It makes sense. Now, here's how I organize the tracks. I usually go kick, snare, hi-hat, and this is by importance of elements, right? Which things really carry the rhythm the most? And it's going to be the kick, snare, hi-hat, and then we have our 808. Now, the bass, the two basses carry the structure, and then the vocals are secondary. So this is like the thicker vocal here, and this is the brighter vocal. So I go from thick to bright. And now, here's what I want you to do. We have 8 things, but I'm just gonna convert it into 1, 2, 3, 4 sections. So I need 4 colors. Here's the color spectrum. So give me 4 colors to organize these with, and it's just gonna make it easier for me to find stuff. So choose your colors. Okay, so we just listened, and I organized it, but I'm almost done with the organization. We just need those colors, and right after this, I'm gonna get to the volume and the gain of this project. So every time we do a track, I'll do this every single time. These steps might happen faster each time as you start to get used to it, but also feel free to stop me at any time. Okay, at any time, like, yo, go back to that cool thing you did with the mix, and why do you do that, right? And once we're done with the volume and gain, we're going to go through gutting. So I got our colors, and we're going to be doing red, purple, red, blue, purple, and green. All right, so we got red with these. Red, okay. Let me unsole so you can really see that. Blue. So that's already blue. Let's do purple and green. Can't really do that in FL in that sense. Like, you can go in like the song window and kind of get a general feel for it. Make this bigger so you can really see what's going on. All right, so I've done that. Now it's time for our gain. All right, so we need to have a meter, and not just like the output right here. That's not good enough. I need to know like DUBS. Okay, so I'm gonna show you that. I'm gonna go to, so in the mixer track, basically, or in the info tab, when I click this, there's the main out. I'm gonna add an effect right here. You can just put it right on top of the track. And gutting is EQ. So if you're having a question about that, so EQing is last, and that's just removing problems, right? So we're taking things down. We're not boosting anything. I'm gutting. Okay. All right. So with this, let's go ahead and add a meter. I'm going to go to metering, and then I'm going to go to multimeter. Okay, I'm going to add a multimeter. I don't know exactly what FL has. Let me open it up real quick and see, so you can understand and have the same kind of thing. So in FL, if I want to have a meter, one thing to always do, take off that limiter. That limiter is a liar. Okay, don't use that limiter, because that is for mastering. Okay, I'm gonna add a plugin. I think it is. It's not that. We're gonna be looking for. Here's it. I think it's dB meter. This is good, but it's not good enough. If you have Waves plugins, let's see what else they got. If I go to more plugins, I know I have. Let me type meter. Okay, this is the most accurate that I've found. Let's see what that is. All right. So this one right here has all the standards that you would need for mixing in FL. And I don't know if you got lined up with this yet, but you see it has like -24 and then like a true peak level. Like this is truthfully what you don't want it to go to. So I can open that up in Logic as well. Okay. So I obviously have the demo. Okay. But I'm gonna use this one. It's easier to understand. You see that? You saw like that kick? Just blah. It's like whoa, wrong. Okay, not wrong, just not good. So I'm gonna take everything and take it down. Okay. So I definitely want it. -9 is not bad, but we want it to kind of be like -11 or 12 when we start. This is just basic because if you put that into Logic, so I'm pretty sure I can get you straight on that. If you want to chat a little bit later, we'll find a way to maybe find some free plugins that you can source online that are similar and get you hooked up. So we've got this. I'm gonna turn it down even more, but let's start with the volume and gain like I was talking about to begin with. And of course I want to start with our melody in this situation because that's the most important thing. So if the melody is cool, we're gonna bring the drums in behind it. The drums are just gonna support that. You want the artist to feel that. The kick should still come through tight, but they should really be feeling that the pad and things like that. So let me I'm actually going to move this stuff to the top for a second, or you know what, let me hide this. I'm just going to tap H, and when I click that, they're gone for a little bit. So let me solo these out. What's this? Okay, so I can chop this. I already know that that's one section that's lighter. Let's see what this is. Okay, I know I can chop that because it's lighter. Boom. Do the same here. And you see how I'm just visualizing it and I can already tell what's going on? Okay. So what that also means is I can do this. I'm going to put these together because they're all deep. I'm having some overlapping issues. So this is just going to take me a quick second. Bring these down. All right. Cool. Okay, so now it makes sense when I say bell bass 1 and bell bass 2. Okay, because then when these happen, I know it's brighter. So whatever EQ I do there, it should work all the way through. And I'll explain what crossfading is. So right now, I'm gonna get the volume right on each element and get it going really good. So I'm still looking at my meter on this side. It's pretty good, but let's probably get it up to like 20. How's the volume on that? Can you hear that pretty good? Let me know if you can hear that. Because I'll live for a little bit and just boost it up so you can really hear what's going on. As you can see, I'm putting that vocal AO like way up there. And you see I still have a lot of room left. I'm not even close to clipping, not barely here at all. Good, I'm glad it works. All right. Notice I have to keep cranking this to be able to hear that. So that means that they're battling in certain frequency ranges. Like there's something that's canceling each other out, and then you just don't hear it, right? And I have to keep gaining this up. Okay, let's get to this section right here with the brighter bell and see if I can bring that in. There's like a little strike in there, isn't there? Okay, let me see something. I'm gonna do that. This way it fades in, it doesn't sound so abrupt. But we know they're part of each other, so I'm not. Let's see what happens when I do this. Ah, that shouldn't happen. You heard that click? There should be no click when that turns off. So I added what's called a fade to the end of it. You see this little tool right here? When it shows up, you make it, well, it doesn't make that big, but that's what I'm looking at. And do the do, okay? And then also right here, I could do the same. Fix those up. Just gonna smooth out some issues right away, okay? And this is why sometimes like the mixes take longer, because I'm correcting minor issues or things that I personally don't think would work. Things that would cut through on certain speaker systems whenever the song comes back in. And these aren't drums, so me fading the beginning and the end of them doesn't matter. If I go like this, it's a crossfade. So if you look at it closely, this is that one, the volume turning down, and this is this one turning up. So let's see what that sounds like. But I can also tell you have some clicking in there yourself. So that might mean I have to take out some of the highs so you don't notice that. But you know, FL is kind of rough when it comes to chopping things. Not a problem, but a problem. Especially when it comes to the kick, because that gets added to the kick, and sometimes you don't know how to turn down that brightness in it. And that's where that's coming from. So let's do this. And that. Fade it. How many more do I have? Okay. Get this one right. Boom. Yeah, and I apologize about the time that this takes, but this is the reality of it all, man. Like, this is what you'd have to do for every single beat. You don't want to have to do that to really get it like exactly right. And I'm sure you probably haven't. And what that means is like the quality of the uploads are suffering. So let's see what we got. All right, so we got that. Boom. All right, so we have our fades, and I have like a nice little balance of these, and we're just dealing with volume right now. Basically back to the middle. Let me unhide. Okay. And I can start bringing in the kick. So I know it's kick, snare, hi-hat, 808. Okay. Now do kick at 808 by themselves. So let me just unhide or make these the hideable things. I'm going to make everything except for the kick and bass hideable. Okay. I'm going to mute. You see that? Whatever I had highlighted got muted. I'm not going to mute these. I'm going to make them hideable. But I'm not going to mute them because I want to hear them when I'm doing the kick and bass. I'll mute them for just the bass by itself. But yeah, it's not bad. Not bad at all. Okay. Let's see. Let's go straight for the kick. Hide. All right. You see how far up that kick is going? One thing I always do with my kicks is I make them mono, which means one side, one signal just doubled, not like the kick spread apart to left and right. You don't want to spread that kick because when you look at a drum set, it's just one instrument at a time. It's just one instrument, one mic. It's not two mics recording the inside and outside. Now, if they created that instrument that way, that's fine. But when you hear it, it's like, why do you need some of it on the left and right? All right, so I'm going to mono that out. It's right there. My mouse so you can really see. That's mono, so one signal. My multimeter back up. If you notice, like, look at all this empty space. Like, the track isn't bright. It may sound bright, but it's not. So what that means, it'll suffer in certain situations. And looking at this multimeter, even though it sounds cool, now watch this. Look here specifically, and when I mute this kick, why the kick shouldn't be that bright. Okay, mixing in mono is good because if you know it's sounding good on one of those cheap little speakers or whatever, it'll pretty much sound good everywhere. But I know that most people are listening with two sides nowadays. But before we're done, we'll listen in mono and see what things are too strong, right? But because I'm already mixing the kick in mono and the bass in mono, I know that when you spread them, it shouldn't change anything, right? So I already know when I gut this kick, I'm gonna have to get rid of the highs in it. Not all the way, just some. So let me give you an example so you can see what's happening. When I put an EQ on this, you can see it. It's like stretching all the way over there. You see that? It's still not as powerful, and I can actually turn the kick up now. Maybe not as strong. The kick and the bass are the most important elements. No, do not keep them in mono for the final project. I don't do that. I'm gonna bounce it out super stereo as wide as possible so you can really hear it. I can give you a mono version though, so you can see what's going on. I also have the capability of giving you a link to where you can hear what I'm doing without any latency. You can hear exactly how I'm hearing it. If you want that, I can set that up and send you a link and you can listen with another source. But I think for this, it'll be fine. You'll hear the final mix. You should trust me a little bit. I'll take care of you. Look at that. That kick is still strong as I don't know what. You know why? It's strong because the 808 has a kick in it. So I'm gonna turn the 808 down a lot. And look over here, I'm cranking. I'm already at -9. But that's where we want to be. I basically already have all the elements in the song. So we have all this, and what I want to do, I'm gonna take the main melody instruments and fill this space up with those, and then I can get rid of the lows in those melody instruments and let the kick and bass take over all here. All right, so let's play it one more time because that's kind of interesting. So it's like I'm gonna let your melody instruments, which are the bells and the voices and the pad, go basically like this, and I'm gonna let the kick basses here, and I'm gonna let the snares and hi-hats, the snares are gonna be kind of here. They might extend over to this a little bit, and then your hi-hats are gonna be all right here, all bright, and you know, you might get a little bit of chunkiness But yeah, so kick and bass, snare, some of the bass, some of the melody, hi-hat. Okay? So I gotta turn them down even more. So what that means, if I have to keep turning the kick and bass down, that means I have to sacrifice some of the melody in that instance. So these are cranked, right? You see that? So that means I'm having to gain these to match those. Don't worry about that. Let's just make it sound. Right? We're worried about the whole thing. Let me X out of this. Move this out of the way. This right here. Make it smaller. Can't make it smaller. Cool. Let's do this. It might get a little quiet. That's alright. I can turn on the thing a little bit. The most difficult thing in the world, snare. Okay, I see why you chose that snare. You wanted a soft feel. This is a really soft vibe. I'm not going to change the snare in this situation. I'm going to leave it how it is. But you tell me now, do you want me to put another snare in this? I could do that. Because I'm about to fix your bass notes since they're a little off. I got the volume for that. Let's see what the hi-hat sounds like. So you can already see where the hi-hat is. It's already right here. So you already know that the bass and kick is here in this area, but your melody shouldn't be there as well. It should kind of be from here up to here or more. Turn off hide. Okay. Okay. We're looking really good, right? That's everything. Now I can cheat and just get you some good volume. Don't worry about this. So even cranking that up, I'm not clipping. I'm gonna see if I can listen to the track by itself, what it was before. What is this one called? Vulnerable? Okay. I'm gonna bring this into the session. That's how you had it, okay? But now we're looking for a balance. So now we got a vibe, right? Everything's still there doing its own thing. I haven't even got rid of problems yet. I'm just getting a basic balance. All right, so we're at 12:42. So we got like 15 minutes left. Let's see what I could do. This is a slow process, but it is gonna sound great. So I've officially got finished with the volume and gain. Okay, now we're gonna gut the track. Okay, which means removing in the EQ. First thing I'm gonna do is remove the punch out of the kick. Okay. All right. So, and it's almost like, dang, what was I doing with that mix, right? But it's okay. You know, I know you see it. It's good. It's good. That means that things are gonna be right. So now what happens once you have a balanced track, when I gain all the way up, everything will rise. It won't be like, wow, that's too much kick. I can't. And you're trying to turn it up, but you can't get the melody to rise with it. Okay, so let's see. With this kick, I already did the basics, right? I got rid of some of the highs in that. But now I'm gonna take this E key right here. Let's see. See what it sounds like with everything. What I'm doing right now is I'm sweeping. So if you see this EQ right here, I'm sweeping. I'm gonna find my problem and remove it. I do charge for mixing, but we're in a Corona, so you can send as many tracks as you can until this is over, right? So I'll mix your stuff all the time, and don't even worry about it. That's what this is for. So luckily, I'm able to do this for you. Just make sure you keep getting stuff in. So, and as we get faster, and he want like, yo, fast track, go quickly. There's potential I can get through this stage with 2 tracks and 1 mix. The only downside is it's also a learning workshop. So you gotta do charge for mixing, but we can work on something outside of here and get you right. So yeah, it won't be too crazy. All right, let's get it going. So we got this. You hear that battle? I'm trying to find the biggest battle. Where's the biggest battle? Okay? Funny thing is, right? It's like you would think, okay, I need to take this out of the kick. No. That problem is actually going to be in your bass. And the reason why it's in the bass is not supposed to have the knock. The bass is supposed to have the pitch of the rumble. Okay? So I'm going to take 57 actually out of the bass first and see what that does. Let's see. Go to 57. Listen. You hear that? And watch this. I'm going to get rid of most of the lows in 808. It is 101. So this is just me and you per lesson. It's like we can do it this way. There'll be other workshops that I'll do, but it's all about how everybody interacts with me. But today, yeah, it's just me and you, man. No problem. And we can keep doing that. And just like so, tomorrow's another day. Like we could finish this tomorrow if you wanted, or we could just move on to the next thing. All right. So we got boom, 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 boom. So it's like boom, 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 boom. But yeah, so I'm gonna fix that. Here's how I'm gonna fix that. I did my EQ on that, but let me. Well, actually, that's the last step for today, which is the tuning and closeout. So I already have that set up for you. But let's continue with the gut. All right, back. Okay. Now, where's that kick in there? I don't want that at all. Let me get rid of all that. You hear that? You see, I'm not even close to our levels yet, and it sounds clean. I'm cleaning first. I clean and then I can add like air freshener and all these scents to mask the poop. All right, so let's see. Let's see. I don't like that. See that? I'm gonna get rid of some of the lows. And you see that I can show you like the snare's kind of in this area, right? It shouldn't really be stretching too far out here. That's room for the hi-hat and a vocal. Vocals start right here, usually. Most vocalists don't have bass range. You know, they kind of start right here and they go up to here. So you want to leave that all for the kick and bass. And you didn't mess anything up. Like this, the fact that I can fix it means that you're doing fine, right? So don't stress on that part. Keep doing what you're doing. But as you're making the beat, now you know it's like I'm overcompensating for the kick and bass. So no matter what I'm doing in a beat, I'm just gonna turn them down before I send it. But while you're making the beat, don't change how you make the beat. Don't change how you in volumes, anything, because it's gonna mess up your vibe. You're gonna be thinking too hard about the track. Just finish a track and be like, all right, before I send it, let me just turn the kick and bass down so I can send it, and then it'll be right. Because if you send me clipped instruments, I can't get rid of clipping. Clipping is distortion. I can't remove distortion. I can only like sacrifice at that point. I have to sacrifice something to get rid of it. Okay? Let's see what else I can get rid of. I'm gonna want to add that later. That's kind of annoying to me, right there. Okay. Let me get rid of the bass for a second. So we already have bass. We already have bass in the 808, so I don't need it in the melody. For real, for real. You see, it's still there. I have a feeling that it's meaty. You see, now the 808 is taking care of that low end. I like this part. I don't like that. That's exactly where my 808 is. That's exactly where my 808 is hitting. And I, you know, like, I'm gonna chop that specifically. You can look at the multimeter, see it's starting to fill up this area. That's essentially what I'm gonna wanna do. And look at all these choices. Complete vibe change. That's an annoying sound. You hear that? So when we get back, I'm gonna add in, right? So I'll have a chance to listen to it without it. I'm not gonna copy that EQ over to the bright one. Now, I am gonna copy it over. Okay, I'm gonna hold Option, click it and drag it. You see the plus sign? Okay. But I'm gonna add the meat back in on this one because it didn't have any to begin with. Let me turn this up so you can see it. So vocal, right? We're kind of starting right here. I can get rid of lows here. Make that not as strong, the curve. Pull it in. Alright, we got a few minutes left. Let's see how fast I can go. We're only right here. That's all hi-hat. So that means what? I'm gonna delete everything up to there. I can also get rid of this, because I know this is all I'm focusing on. Let me find a problem though. That's an annoying sound. I'm gonna tighten it a lot though, because we still need a lot of our sound. Okay. Okay, that has a little too much thickness in it. Let me get to a part where I can really hear it. Okay. Look at that. I can actually turn down the 808 now because it has room. And the kick. Turning up the piano thing a little bit. I'm definitely going to add echo and stuff in there. It's going to be super important. And you see, I've actually turned this up so loud, but that's just so you can hear how what the mix is. This is just me making a mix. This is not a master, right? It's not the final output. And to be honest, you would send this to the rapper and be like, yo, just turn it up. Because when they're recording, right, they always want you to turn on a beat anyway so they can hear their vocal when they're recording. Why not just send it to them at the level that they need it at? And then that engineer can really mix it and make it sound right. Okay? All right, let's compare. Okay? So because you like the kick and stuff so much, I am going to give it a little more boost. Just on the kick side. Because we lost some of that punch when I got rid of the highs. Alright, last thing. Okay? So we got through, yeah, it's pretty straight. It's straightforward, nice, clean. Everything should sound balanced. You should be able to hear everything equally, but not. Everything has its place. I haven't even panned or put things in specific position. We just gutted the track. I'm going to do a quick tune and close out, okay? So here's my 808. What I have to do is go into what's called flex mode, and that's this symbol right here. And I'm going to activate it by going to pitch. So it's going to find every single pitch of these for me, and then I can move them accordingly to the bell bass. Okay? Look at that. You see it's kind of giving me notes? That's dope, right? That is only in Logic. But I can see it has like, it's like, boom. So that can confuse you. So whenever you're recording your 808, always record the 808 an octave or two up so you can really hear the pitches and then bring it down. Even if it doesn't sound right where you're mixing, you might not be mixing in the right headphones or speaker or something. So let's so it's, I'm gonna take these two. We're gonna take it up one. You heard that? It should sound a lot cleaner. So this is going to go up 2 again. Actually, those were the right notes on that one. And looking at this is the same pattern as this. So I can easily just chop this out. Get out of flex mode for a second. Chop this out. And take this one and replace it. Holding option, copy paste. Yeah, you need to bring the monitors back out, man. Bring the monitors back out. So what's going on here? This is the last fix. Something's telling me that we don't need this kick. We don't need this here. Because it's not, I don't hear any pitches. I don't hear any notes. So I'm actually going to remove that. You don't need those because you already have the kick doing that. Okay? So, and it's doing it there. And I'm going to remove it here. Because it's just fighting it for no reason. Doesn't even need to be there. Okay? Alright, so you have your 2 bass melodies all pitched and corrected. Alright. And then, of course, I'm going to save the project because that's extra important. And I'm going to bounce out a version. So that was our tune, and now I'm going to close out. So this is what's going to happen in the next section. The next time we meet up for this, I'm going to do panning and placement. Where in your ears do you want to hear the parts? Okay, so think about that. Adding with EQ to really give the instrument space. One sound with compression, which is really tightening the track to get a full plate of food, not just elements. You don't want to eat flour by itself. You don't want to necessarily drink milk by itself or eat an egg by itself. But when you mix them together and bake that in the oven, you get that dopeness, all right? Then epicness is which is adding effects, and then our final output, which won't be very loud, but it'll be correct. And then you can send that to your artist and have them record on top of it, send it back. I could even mix the vocals that you get from the artist. So let them know, like, hey, I'll mix it for you. You can charge that artist whatever you want to charge them. And be like, yo, I'm going to mix it for you. Send it to me. We'll mix it in a live session. Send it back. If he needs it fixed again, fine. But I'm letting you know it's going to sound dope. All right? So I'm going to save it real quick. And this is how I'm going to do that. And then we'll call it a day, all right? So let's see. Save. We're going to call this Nitro. I'm going to put that in there too just for my purposes. And this song is called Vulnerable. The BPM is 140. And the key is G sharp minor. Alright. And the date, 4/6/2020. All together like that now. Here we go. Boom. That's saved. And yeah, so am I signing you up for tomorrow, or do you want to wait till next week? What do you want to do? And just put that below. Yeah, if he wants this song mixed too, just make sure he chimes in on this. If you want him to see this, that's great. That'll be dope for me. Just to have more views, it allows me to keep doing these programs because National State is actually funding this, so it would be really, really dope to make sure that I have more students to work with. Blah 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 blah. If not, it doesn't matter. I can work with one-on-one. I can just work with you. They don't mind as long as you guys still have stuff to interact with. And you already know how I operate. I'm just like I'm like one of those infiltrators in school, just trying to make things happen for you all. So let's just keep doing this, making it happen. And let me get a bounce for you that you'll be able to hear, and we'll be good for the day, man. All right. Boom. And I'm gonna bounce it as a wave too, and I'm gonna give you a stem folder, okay, of this. So you'll get 2 stem folders at the end of this. And I'm going to put a 1 in front of this. This is mix 1. Down. All right. Tomorrow sounds good? All right. I got you locked in. and I'm gonna send you a site that has specific things that you can look at, or we can just chat on the phone tomorrow or whatever, and go over some stock stuff too, and get things going, man. Wait, we want to definitely thank everybody for having us. I want to thank National State for really making this happen, and keep going. So get signed up for the next session if you can. If you can go to southernword.org /events, that's where you'll see all the workshops. There's other workshops too, but I'm the only one that's doing National State. And yeah, so send me your email. We already have all that stuff, and boom, bang, bongo, man. Let's get it cranking. Peace.